What's up everyone, Bowers here from The Slow Cheese, and today is the first installment of our new series, which is just the League of Legends beginner guides. These are aimed for new players, like brand new players, like level 1 fresh accounts that haven't played the game before. Just because there's a severe lack of content out there, tutorials and guides and stuff on like teaching brand new players how to play. And Riot doesn't do a very good job themselves of teaching them. Like the tutorials are rather outdated that we actually have. So this is why we're making this series. So by the end of it, your aim is to be able to play the game effectively, like all the way in, and having a knowledge of everything that you need to know up to level 30. So this is for your leveling process and whatnot. So the first episode, we're starting nice and simple. We're just going to look at client navigation and everything, all the tools in the client that you can use, that you have at your disposal. So starting off, the first thing you can see is the League of Legends homepage, or the client homepage. Here you'll have any updates or articles that Riot want you to see along these things, and then you'll just have like whatever new champions or skin sales are on. So going down the bottom, you have your friends list where you can add all your friends and stuff. You have clubs, which at the time of making this video is a newly implemented feature where you can make a club with a group of friends and you can have a tag and all that. And then you have your notifications box here, this little exclamation mark. And like when you get invited to games and stuff, like a pop-up will come up here, but if you leave it for a while, it'll go away and you'll have your notifications here. So moving on, we go to our preferences. So you have a language filter, that's just like censoring, swearing and stuff in your games, and your friend notifications, you can choose whatever you want there. Then you just have all your volume, music and sound effects. And then you have just a whole bunch of options here, like menu animations and whatnot, and newbie help tips. And you can, customize it how you see fit. Open up, we have help dialogue. Now, this is one of the things that, reading these kind of things are good. They just give you a basic rundown of everything. But, this information hasn't been updated for, years or, a long time. So, it's hard to, it's not always that good for new players to be reading this kind of stuff. It doesn't give you the best idea of, how to use everything. Anyway, so moving on. So the last three things we have are these three options here. So this is your profile page. If you click up here, I'm just using my old account just so it gives you a more accurate representation of what it will look like for new levels. So there's nothing too much interesting here. There's champion masteries and you have your ranked and all that stuff here. First one of the day and your leveling up process. Leagues isn't that important until you hit level 30, and then you just have your match history, which will just give you, matches and stuff. You can go into games and take a look at stats, etc. Champions, you can sort it in a number of ways. It just you can look at who's available by just going available, and all these champions with the exclamation marks are like on the free rotation, and you can just see who you own and who you can play and whatnot. And sort it in highest mastery and stuff like that. Sorry, sorting's there. Runes and masteries, we will be doing a more in-depth video on both of these in the future, but just for the very basic, the first rundown, runes are pretty much things you can buy in the shop that give you just bonus stats and stuff to start at the game with, and as you level up, you will see here some of these blocked out. And they get unlocked as you level up. So here we see level 24. So these are unlocked till later. And you also need to buy rune pages with IP or RP. You can have up to 20, and then you just have your mark seals glyphs. But we'll go into more in-depth information on this in a later video. Same thing with masteries. Masteries, you can have as many pages, well, up until 20, but they don't cost you anything. Basically, with the new mastery system that's been implemented in season 6. You have keystone masteries, which are significantly stronger than regular masteries, and then you just have certain masteries that you can put 5 points in and certain that you just put 1 in. As you level up, you want to be aiming for a certain keystone, so you spec into one tree and you put your first 18 points into one tree, and then you look at what else you want depending on your champion. As I said before, we'll be going into further in depth into this kind of stuff in a later video, so that's just the basic rundown of it. It's important just to remember you get a point every time you level up, a mastery point to spend. You see here I have 0 points available. I'm level 22 and I have 18 and 4. So it's important to remember to put a point into your masteries every time you level up. Spells, this is another thing that isn't, it just gives you a rundown of all the summoner spells in the game. They get unlocked. I don't feel like this should be a thing. I feel like everyone should have access to these spells at level 1. But basically, in game, you can choose 2 summoner spells, and this will just give you a rundown of what they are. And then item sets, finally. Allows you to create an item set that will show up in game in the shop with a certain champion and stuff. Some people use them. I use like 1 or 2 on my main account, but it might be good if you really know champion and you know what items you want to buy. But it's always good to just take a look at the recommended items or look at the more advanced parts of the shop to see what you want. And then ranked teams is just something that is now dead, but I don't know why this is here anymore, because you can't have rank 5 teams with dynamic queue. Well, they basically are ranked 5 teams. Anyway, moving on. One thing I also didn't point out. So up here you have your influence points and your RP. RP is like your right points, which is like what you pay real life money for. And you can buy like skins and champions and runes, rune pages, and just stuff like that with it. Like all the cosmetics. And then IP, you can buy champions and stuff with. You earn these just by playing games. So as a patch like 6.8 or what, we have a new Hextech crafting, which it's kind of a little bit complicated for starting off, but basically you can get 4 chests, or you can get 1 chest a week, and you just get it by getting like S ranks and stuff in your games, like just playing well, and you'll get a chest, and then you can also have a random chance to get key fragments, and you need 3 to make a key, and you unlock it, and then you get a random chance at unlocking skins and stuff depending, but like that's for another video. This isn't really important, but basically this is just a Hextech crafting section. Moving on to the shop. So this is the new shop as of, I think, 6.10. They put it in earlier and then they took it out because it must have been buggy, but now it's back in. So this is a new one. So up here on the landing page, you have like just whatever's on sale. Like every 3 or 4 days, you have like 4 new champions and 4 new skins that go on 50% off sales for RP, not IP. And then you'll just have like, it'll just give you updates on like early skin sales and new champions and stuff. You know, it'll tell you what's new and like what's selling the best, what's most popular. And so then as you can go, you have all these options up here. So you can go champions, you can sort it in roles, or you can just go release date, but it has all the new all the champions, so you can buy with RP or IP. And then you move on to skins, and that will just have all the skins you want. You can take off show own, but you can make it like champion own, so you can just see the skins for the champions that you own. And then moving on to gameplay, so you have runes and boosts, so you can buy all your rune pages. You can pick your tiers 1, 2, and 3 here. Although I think 1 is no longer existent anymore, I'm pretty sure. And then your types of runes and whatnot, and you can just go through and buy all your runes here. You can also go and look at your boosts if you click on the category section, and it'll just have all your boosts. Then we move on to accessories. So this is mostly just cosmetics and whatnot. It has all your Hextech crafting stuff, and then it just has a whole bunch of ward skins you can buy. This changes the look of your wards in game to whatever, like pink wards and stealth wards, and then just summoner icons, which can also be bought with RP. Some of them, like special ones, you can just buy for IP. And you change them, you click up here in your picture, and you have like a whole bunch of base summoner icons. And yeah, that's about it. And then we move on to bundles. This is if you want to spend a lot of money. Most of the bundles, you can, like, you know, if you want to buy some things, you can buy like something like the 7 rune page bundle is worth it if you're buying it with RP. Starter bundle is not too bad. Just gives you a whole bunch of like basic champions and some boosts, or the beginner champions. But that's about it really. There's not too much else to look at. And then you can look at your account settings up here. We got these 3 boxes. So you can like look at transferring or a name change if you want to change your name. You can also look at your purchase history and like code redemptions if you get like a code for any kind of thing, or a gift card. You also have the gifting center here if you want to gift a skin or a champion or something to somebody. And then to do all of this, you need to buy RP. Well, not all of it. Some things can be bought with IP, but like all the RP things cost real money. So obviously you'll go into here and you'll figure out how to buy. You buy the amount you want and you'll use that in game. Also, while you're in any of these pages, if you want to get back to the home page, you can just click the League of Legends symbol up the top left-hand corner here, and it'll take you back to the home page. So lastly, moving on, we're going to look at how to get into the game and what kind of games there are. So we're going to click this big orange bright play button here. So you have your four options here. You got PvP, co-op vs bots, custom games, and tutorials. If you haven't played like any kind of game like this before, like you haven't played Dota or Smite, then like, you know, the basic tutorial might be recommended. It shows you really basic things in the game, like how to buy items and move and stuff. But this is what I mean. Like, this should be full of a whole bunch of things: how to CS and how to, like, what to buy and what kind of champions to play and all this kind of thing. But like, the information here is so limited. Like, and this is just a really basic game that gives you tips against bots. So there's really not a lot of content for. So, well, I do recommend at least doing battle training once for your first game. Custom games you can use to just create custom games to practice things if you want, just to practice by yourself. The main thing, co-op versus AI, so you'll go over here and intro is like super easy, so you can probably start off with beginner, but you can pick between beginner and intermediate. These are the games I recommend for people just starting off. Like beginner bots is a really easy way to learn new champions and stuff like that before you take it into PvP. I'm pretty sure there's a level cap before you can go into PvP anyway, so you'll have to play a few bot games. It's also a really good way to power level if you're power leveling up a Smurf or something until like level 20. Then I think you get reduced XP and you need to use PvP. Then finally we have PvP, which is the main kind of game. We have two game modes here. We have ARAM and Classic. There's normally some bonus games on the weekend now with the rotating game queues, like Earth and all that. And then you'll just go to ranked. You can't do to level 30, and then you'll just have your normal. So you can either play or you can party. And here you can invite people from your friends list over and play games like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and hope it was helpful for any new players. It's just a basic rundown of the entire client and how to use everything in it. There'll be videos in the future, so if you enjoy this and you're starting out, please subscribe. So I hope this was helpful, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.